Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. Happy Tuesday. Our personal stories allowed on TEDx stage. This was a question which came from one of a TEDx license holders and organizers, which is amazing. I'm wishing you huge luck in TEDx India. And after this, what happened actually, quite a few people asked me the same question. So today I'm going to give you that answer. But first of all, let me know where you're watching from. Put a hashtag live if you're watching it live. Put a hashtag replay in the comments if you're watching it on the replay. I want to see who is watching. So are personal stories allowed on TEDx stage? That's a very tricky question. And here's the short answer: yes, but there is always a but, right? Not that, but what a lot of people think about. But so are personal stories allowed? Yes, they're allowed, as long as they follow the guidelines and the TEDx speaker guide. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share very quickly my screen, and I'm not going to read all the guidelines and then the speaker guide. But what I want to do is to give you 3 big mistakes what people do, and to read very, very specific sections of the guidelines and the rules what TED headquarters give to TEDx organizers, and asking TEDx speakers, because apparently this is not very well known also, although I thought that quite a lot of people actually know that. So if you are someone who is gonna just about to jump on TEDx stage and you wonder this question, yes, you're allowed to use your personal stories in a very specific way. I'm gonna explain today. If you are a TEDx organizer and you're thinking like, should you allow your speakers to use their personal stories? Yes, they're allowed. You can't stop them doing this because the guidelines doesn't say anything against it, and it's a very specific guideline. So let's jump straight away. What I'm going to do is to share my screen. Let's see how that's going to go. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna share this one. You're gonna see me quite a few times, but never mind. What's the best one? Okay, this is the best one. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one. In the TEDx speaker guide, so I put the links in the description of this video. So go to the description, you're gonna see the 2 links. I'm gonna put them in the comments just in a second, okay? But there is a TEDx speaker guide, which is the one what you see right now on your screen. And what I want you to know is this. The TED headquarter basically says when they explain to the TEDx speakers how to develop the idea, they say your idea can be new or surprising or challenge a belief your audience already has. Or it can be a great basic idea with a compelling new argument behind it. An idea isn't just a story or list of facts. A good idea takes evidence or observations and draws a larger conclusion. So majority of the time, the TED headquarter basically doesn't talk saying like, oh, you cannot use personal stories. That's not the case. What they're basically saying is that you can use stories, but don't make it just about the story or just about the facts. It's the great balance between evidences, observations, larger conclusions, and your story. It's all together. Okay, so this is the first thing what I wanted to show. The second paragraph, what I want to briefly mention, it's again from the TEDx speaker guide. It's under section how you can make an outline and a script. So they basically put it really well here. Don't focus too much on yourself. Okay. So nowhere in the TEDx speaker guide you're going to see you're not allowed to use personal stories. That's not the case. You are allowed, but don't focus too much on yourself. The reason why is because the first big mistake right now, what I see constantly from TEDx speakers, is to turn their TEDx talk into me, I, me, myself, and I. Okay. TEDx is not about you only. So TEDx is about you as your stories, but it's not for you. Don't forget that. It's huge difference between being for you and about you. Okay, it is about you, but it's not for you. So focus on your audience instead of focusing on yourself. This is exactly what the TEDx speaker guide says. And a little bit later on in the same section, make an outline and script. What the instruction basically is, whatever structure you decide on, the structure is TEDx talk structure. Remember, the primary goal of your talk is to communicate an idea effectively, not to tell a story or to evoke emotions. These are tools, not an end in themselves. Your structure should be invisible to the audience. In other words, don't talk about how you're going to talk about your topic, just talk about it. I love that. Uh, so I love the sense of humor from TED Headquarters. It's just amazing. But that specific, basically, paragraph here is literally giving you the full permission to talk about your personal stories. But just, for God's sake, just don't focus on the emotions too much and to the story, because these are indeed just tools. Okay, so this is the step mistake number one, the me, myself, and I. So focus on what you want to pass as wisdom instead of on your story, on yourself and you. So how you can check that? It's quite easy. Once you write your script, what I want you to do is to go through the script and find how many, do a search and find how many times you put I and me and myself. Okay. So find those like I, me, and myself. And if it's too much I, too much me, too much myself, just start changing the way how you present your idea, the way how you present your wisdom, and and you communicate your talk to the audience. The another mistake what people do massively right now, this is mistake number two, is that TEDx speakers basically start talking about their companies, the company name, the projects, what they're doing, the books, what they wrote, the names of their websites, like anything which is very commercial. It's not allowed. And this is in the TEDx content guidelines. This is another document from the one I just showed you. This is the TEDx content guideline. Again, the link is in the description of this video, this live right now. So go and click on the link, and I will put the links right after we finish, because if I put links now, they're going to go only on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel or to my LinkedIn profile, because I go live once a week and I give a lot of tips like this one. And also every Wednesday I write articles with a lot of tips for TEDx speakers. So I'm going to read very quickly the guideline number one: no commercial agendas. It is essential to a talk that the speaker mentions what they do and describe the business that they're in. They should. But speakers may never use the TED or TEDx stage to pitch their products or services, plug their books, or ask for funding. While entrepreneurs and business leaders can speak at TEDx events, their talk should be driven by an idea and not sell from stage. TEDx event is not a platform for professional or circuit speakers, such as motivational speakers and professional life coaches. It is a fine line between shameless self-promotion and wholesome self-reporting. So, as a rule of thumb, if it feels like an advertisement, it probably is. Okay, so be very careful with this text, because, and this rule, because um, your TEDx organizer needs to be very cautious as of what you are going to say on stage, because it's their responsibility to make sure that you follow that specific guideline. Like all of them, there are 4 guidelines, but that specific one is just super, super important. And again, I see and I speak with, like every day I speak with people who come to me and ask me the question, like, can I use TEDx basically to kind of advertise my business? And I say no. So people don't like me for that. Well, that's the the reality. I'm not gonna lie to people because they want to do something and they're not gonna like the answer. Okay, but these are the guidelines, and that's why I want you to jump today and show you this. So one more thing in the TEDx speaker guide, which is under still under section 3, which is make an outline and script. What they say is like, it's basically how to write the whole structure of your TEDx talk. But as a conclusion, what TED headquarter, something happened. Sorry, let me just see. That is weird. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna just remove it for a second. What happened was that my tabs just closed. I don't know what happened. Okay, give me a second. Meanwhile, I want to see who is watching, where you're watching it from, how you guys doing today, as that is super, super, super cool to see. I'm going to just open those tabs again. Just give me a second. Meanwhile, put our questions in the comments below. And I'm going to answer all of them. So give me just literally just 1 second, because I'm going to open this one. So put questions, say hi, see who else is watching today. And yeah, 2 more slides I'm going to open. Let's see who is watching, where you're watching it from. That is weird what happened. Okay, nearly there. I'm gonna check just in a second who is writing what, because I want to see. Okay, I'm ready. Let's just let's see. No, I'm gonna stop that screen. Let me share again. No comments. Okay, guys, that's interesting. If you're watching on a replay, put it as a hashtag replay. Okay, I was talking about section 3, make an outline and script. Okay. So what basically TED headquarters says is avoid ending with a pitch, such as soliciting funds, showing a book cover. This is my book. Go and buy it on Amazon. That's not allowed. Or using corporate logos. If you're using PowerPoint slides, you're not allowed to use corporate logos behind you, your company logos on each slide. In other ways, you cannot promote in any kind of cases yourself. I've seen yesterday, I watched a TEDx talk. I'm not going to mention names, but somehow, weirdly, there was the handle of the Instagram of the person on each of the slides. And I was like, that's interesting, because it's against the commercial, the guideline number 1, what I just read to you, and this guideline. So be very, very careful, because what happens, I'll tell you what might happen and what you risk if you do it. The first is that your TEDx organizer most probably is going to stop you using those slides. Okay, so you might prepare slides and then the organizer will be like, no, you either change them in a hurry right now or you're not allowed to use slides. Then the second part is your TEDx talk to when it's published, it actually needs to be submitted with the headquarter. What happens there is that the headquarter check all this information, and they might reject you to be published as a TEDx speaker. So imagine you put all these efforts, all this time to prepare as a TEDx speaker, and then you're not published. So you were on stage, you spoke on stage, you became a TEDx speaker because you were on the TEDx stage, but your TEDx talk is not going to ever go published on YouTube, TED.com, etc., because of you did not follow all these guidelines. The third risk there is that if something happens and your talk was published by the headquarter, if in the future at some point someone go and complain that your TEDx talk does not follow the guidelines, anyone in the world can do that, by the way. They go and they complain. What happens is that the headquarters is going to go and basically take you off the list of TEDx speakers. They're going to unpublish they're going to unpublish completely your talk, and it's going to be like you never did a talk, you never became a TEDx speaker. So don't risk to put yourself in such kind of situation because you did not follow the guidelines. So the last huge mistake what people do is this one. People basically focus on telling their stories and saying stats and facts that they didn't check. Okay, and TED is very, very serious about that one. When you do your talk, and this is in the TEDx speaker guide, and this is underneath number 2, develop an idea, you need to basically say follow this guideline. Please fact check, especially facts you may take for granted, statistics, historical anecdotes, scientific stats. If you're drawing an example from a discipline that is not your main area of knowledge, use research from widely accepted and peer-reviewed resources, and if it's possible, consult with experts directly. So you can see what exactly they're saying. It's fact checking every single word what you put, like this is a fact. So in other words, in a very simple words, the moment when you say anything like it's a well-known fact that meditation can help with I don't know, with migraine, whatever, I'm just totally making it up right now. The moment when you say it like it's a well-known fact, if you don't have the proof that it was actually it's fact-checked, and you can basically show them, and I'm going to tell you how to prove that, then that part, because of this part of your TEDx talk, your whole TEDx talk might be again rejected to be published. Now, anything what you're about to say, I want you to go to the TEDx content guideline. And so you've got the 4 guidelines, but when you scroll at the very, very end, the very last section is quite long. It's about 3 pages or 4 pages. It's called TEDx Fact Checking Guide. Okay, please go and read it. This is from page 5 to page 9. Okay, so go and read what exactly the fact checker here means. Okay, now last mistake what I've seen from few TEDx organizers, actually it came, they were basically pushing their speakers to only mention statistics which are published in medical journals. Nah, that is not what the fact-checking guide says. So whatever you say as facts, again, read from page 5 to page 9 here, but they don't have to be published in medical journals, and they don't have to be from well-known medical researchers, etc. That's not part of the fact-checking guide. Okay, so be very, very careful every time when you say like the statistics says, the stats says, we know that 60% of the population of the world is doing this. Majority of the people do this. Any kind of words which is like, the moment when you put number somewhere, that number needs to be basically following the fact-checking guide. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna come fully back to you guys. Hi Val, it's so good to see you. Val became a TEDx speaker, so I'm not sure that that topic will be super interesting for you, but congratulations, you are already a TEDx speaker. That's amazing. And hello to Ireland. Back to you. I actually literally traveled and I just came literally like half an hour ago. I came to my parents, hence the not usual background. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I put in the comments if you have any kind of questions around our personal stories allowed on stage. Go again and check the two links. What I'm gonna do right now is do this. I'm gonna put the links in the comments. However, because I'm using the oh, interesting. That did I go live on Facebook? That's weird. I went live on the wrong platform. That is funny. I didn't go live on LinkedIn. Amazing. Anyway, I love you a lot. I'm wishing you an amazing day today, and happy Tuesday. Have an amazing week ahead, and I'm gonna see you next Tuesday. So I'm kind of debating with myself to put back the lives to be back on Friday, 12 p.m. UK time. So I will most probably do that actually to be Friday, 12 p.m. Because I can see that I was testing, and with all my tests, I couldn't see that Tuesday is the best, or at least that time wasn't best for majority of the people. But Val, if you're still watching, what is your opinion? Like Friday, 12 p.m. UK time, which is Irish time as well, or or Tuesday, 1 p.m. Or 12 p.m. on Tuesday. What is your opinion? By the way, I did. Isn't it Wednesday? It is. It is Wednesday today. I know. I keep repeating on Tuesday. The reason only for today that it's Wednesday instead of Tuesday is because yesterday was first of the month, and on first of the month I published my article, which is a top 10 most watched TEDx talks on YouTube, and I had to swap the newsletter with the live. That's the only reason why today's Wednesday, and I keep saying it's every Tuesday. That's the only reason. So yeah, let me know it like Fridays 12 p.m. UK time, or Tuesdays 1 p.m. or 12 p.m. What do you think? By the way, I like, it feels like a previous life, but I was in Dublin. I was working with a huge retail company when I was a program director. So I spent in Dublin almost a year. I love Ireland, and I love Dublin. Val says 12 midday London time would be my first choice. Perfect. Okay, Friday or Tuesday, or regardless, either. Oh gosh, that would be great. 12 middays. I love that. I think 12 middays is also better, to be honest. Okay. I'm gonna wait a few seconds for Val to say Tuesday or Fridays, but yay, whichever. Great. Okay. In this case, I'm gonna move it for Friday. I'm one of those people who constantly drive changes and transformations, 19 years of transformations and digital transformations, but sometimes like this change from Friday to Tuesday totally, I have to say, completely messed up my whole my everything what I've been doing on Fridays and Tuesdays. So I'm gonna go back on Friday. Oh no, don't worry. Val, apologies for the type of for London. Don't worry about this one. Okay. Have an amazing, amazing day ahead. Very successful week ahead. And I'm going to see you next Friday at 12 p.m. UK time. Love you a lot. And see you next Friday.